So the Lakers season is over. It ended last night in a 4-0 series sweep in the second round to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Not very surprising to anyone, really. People thought at max the Lakers could maybe get one game, but everyone figured it'd be a quick series with no Luka Doncic. And it looked like yesterday might have been that one game the Lakers would get. Game 4 was really a close game all the way through. Looked like a great atmosphere to be at. The black court, the crowd was into it, unlike sometimes with Laker games. It looked like a really good time. Came down to the very end. Lakers had their moments where they could have gotten over the hump, couldn't quite get it, and Oklahoma City pulled through to win the series in 4 games. And with that, like I said, no one was really surprised. It's kind of a different feeling after last year's playoff loss in the first round, where everyone was really disappointed, losing it in the fashion they did, 4-1 to the Timberwolves. This year, being that the Lakers did win a first-round series as the underdog against the Rockets, even though the Lakers were the 4 seed, Rockets 5 seed, it was still impressive and surprising to many, including myself. Lakers were able to pull that series through, but everyone knew against the Oklahoma City Thunder, given how the regular season series had played out, the caliber of team Oklahoma City is, and of course having no Luka Doncic, people did not expect the Lakers to win. Like I said, at max, we're talking 5 games. Had the Lakers had Luka, I think they definitely would have had a puncher's chance, even though the regular season went the way they did. Oklahoma City definitely would have been the favorites, but people would have thought you got Luka, LeBron going up in the second round against anyone, you'll take your chances. But with just LeBron, it is what it is. And it really brings into question, let me say this right now, if you can hear all the clanging in the background, it's because there's a lot of construction going on. This is like my only time I can do this video before I gotta go to work, and I wanted to do it now, so there you go. Now, regardless, with the season ending, it always brings into questions, especially for this year, the future of the team, specifically LeBron. Big thing with last night was everyone sort of thinking, was that going to be LeBron's last year with the Lakers? It's gone on year 8 with the Lakers. Now he's a free agent, obviously getting older, being a superstar level NBA player at age 41 is unprecedented. It's crazy he's able to play at the level he's able to play at now, where he could be the best player on a team that was able to win a first round series. They got clocked in round 2, but again, people expected that. But, the future for LeBron, there is a lot of questions, because it's not just about LeBron in terms of what the team has to do to be competitive. The team isn't called the LeBrons, it's the Lakers, and having Luka Doncic, the team is going to be built around him. I think some of the stuff, at least the way the offseason last year played out, definitely made it seem like the Lakers knew that Luka has got to be their focus going forward. And with the salary cap the way how it plays out, Lakers have a lot of free agents, but with having Luka Doncic as obviously your superstar going to be on the team going forward, you got to craft a team that's going to be the right fit around him. And I don't know if the right fit around Luka is having LeBron at a max level deal at age 41. There are certain times where even a player like Luka, who is so prolific offensively, superstar in that level, that you got to pay him whatever you're going to pay him. But if you're going to have Luka as your superstar, you got to have the right team around him. And having LeBron at age 41 on a max salary, Austin Reeves on a max salary, I don't know about that. Actually, it's not that I don't know. I know that is not how you're going to beat a team, build a team that's going to compete with the Thunder, the Spurs, the Timberwolves. That's just not going to get it done right there. For LeBron specifically, I do think his best option, because he does have options per usual, is LeBron freaking James in terms of what he wants to do. I think, he can stay with the Lakers. There's the opportunity to go to other teams that would be in need of his services. I think the best thing for his own value was for these playoffs, showing that he's still got it as far as giving you, great performances, leadership, all the intangibles that come with LeBron James that he's had over his whole career. It's just that obviously at age 41, if you're paying him max money, that's just a death sentence right there. You cannot do that just because thing with LeBron, sure he can play at a high level, but it's almost in the context of being 41, sort of, where he just doesn't have the energy to give you that consistent effort all the way through a game. He's got to pick his spots in a lot of aspects. Still, though, brings a lot to the table. So, for me as a Laker fan, I would love to have LeBron still on the team. I love what he's brought to LA. People forget how bad the Lakers were in the years prior to LeBron. It was like a 6 or 7 year drought of not even making the playoffs, starting at the end of Kobe's final few years, which were pretty rough from a team standpoint. And then just all the young picks that, just weren't really leading to winning. He comes in and, you come to the Lakers, you're a superstar, the expectation is to bring a championship. He did that. It was under a different kind of circumstances during the 2020 pandemic, but he was playing under the same kind of circumstances everyone else was, and I'm always super grateful for that 2020 championship. It meant a lot for that year, given the state the Lakers had been in previous years. Obviously, the year of Kobe's passing. That year, great. Obviously, I'm not saying it's been a smashing success. It's been a mixed bag as far as, sometimes not even making the playoffs or losing in the first round. But they've had their runs. They've been relevant. They've made a conference finals. They just won a playoff round this year. You win a championship with the Lakers, it's a successful term. And I think the big thing that I realized with this playoffs is that if it comes down between having LeBron, would I rather have LeBron or Austin Reeves next season? I'd rather have LeBron. I think if we're going to build a team around Luka, I would want LeBron on a discount price, definitely. I don't want to pay him or Austin Reeves max money. You have big money spending on your team for Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, a 41-year-old LeBron. That team ain't going nowhere. You're just getting smoked defensively every single game you play in. But I think LeBron on a price, and obviously, always the business of counting someone else's money can be a little tricky, but it's not like LeBron is starving for money. So I think if I'm the Lakers, and this goes for Austin Reeves also, but we'll start with LeBron. I think if LeBron were to come back on a salary deal of, I don't think I could go more than like 30 million. Even that, I wouldn't feel great. Maybe more like 25 million, 25 to 30 million. I'm great. But you can't, I don't think for building the team and in the context of LeBron being 41, I don't think you can go past 30 million. Same goes for Austin Reeves, where I know that Austin Reeves is due for more money this year also. But for building the team, man, you cannot have a team centered around Luka and Austin Reeves. Forget about when LeBron's there. When LeBron retires, that's still not going to get it done just because your backcourt is going to be barbecue chicken, to quote Shaq, every single time when you're on the defensive end right there. And Austin Reeves has shown he had a really good game last night. Credit where credit is due. He had a couple good games in the series, but too often he shows inconsistency because as an undrafted player, when he's going up against them big dog when it comes to whether it's from a team standpoint or going against the guys that just have superior athleticism, he just doesn't have the physical prowess to get it done. And he's been hurt a few times in the last couple of years. So you got to be careful for that. So I don't think, I know there's always that thing where you don't want to let players leave for nothing. But if other teams, like from what I see, Chicago, the Bulls, they got cap space. Brooklyn Nets have cap space. There are obviously teams that are probably going to want Austin Reeves. I mean, if they want to pay him $50+ million, I would say, just let him walk at that point, because one thing you can't do is be hampered down by bad salaries. That's an absolute death sentence for a team. So I think with Luka being your franchise player, I think Lakers, and it's shown, Luka's not a perfect player either, obviously, with his defensive deficiencies, and now he's getting a little hurt too often for my liking, to where this hamstring injury, no one thought he would be out going into the middle or going into the second round. So that's disappointing from that. He still has a lot of lessons to learn about conditioning and all that. That's the whole reason he got traded from Dallas. Now, they made a pretty dumb deal, which they lucked out and got the number 1 pick. Otherwise, that franchise would have been sunk right now. But still, with him, he's got lessons and just a lot to prove next year as far as staying healthy and really being that superstar to take the Lakers to the next level, to where it's amazing that in year 23, age 41 for LeBron, he had to shift back into the role of being that viable option for the team in the playoffs. Now, I think he did a great job under the circumstances and, winning that first round series. And, again, no one expected them to beat OKC, but he still played well. And actually, his numbers matched up against Shai Gilgeous in that aspect. So that, it just shows that Luka, he's just got a lot of lessons to learn. But I think for next year, I think in the context of building a team that is going to be the best suited to compete, I think you're looking at a Luka Doncic, who's already been paid on his extension, a LeBron on a bit of a discount, and then I think Austin Reeves, like I said, if he wants more than $30 million, then I think I would just let him walk. With the Lakers, free agents are always going to want to come to the Lakers. So, while it sucks to lose a guy that's, kind of a fan favorite, if you're going to build a team with the players you already have, you have that. And they had other decisions, like Rui Hachimura. He's a free agent with how he shot during the playoffs and just, kind of his relative consistency throughout the season. He's a guy I would definitely want to keep. That guy is playing unbelievable. Other free agents like Luke Kennard, whatever, you can give it or take it. He had his moments, but he kind of didn't quite have the consistency through the playoffs. Other stuff, I think DeAndre Ayton might have a player option. He's got to be the softest 7-footer I've ever seen. My goodness, that guy's going to play himself out of the league right now. So you have it right now, LeBron, free agent, Rui, free agent, Luke Kennard, Austin Reeves, player option. He's playing for player option for $14 million. You can get more than that right now. DeAndre Ayton, $8 million player option. Whatever. And then Marcus Smart. He's a guy, his name should be Marcus Not Smart, because my goodness, he just makes some of the dumbest turnovers you'll ever see. He definitely had his moments in the first round where he did really step up, but that guy just plays with kind of a really dumb IQ sometimes when it comes to his passing and turnovers, to where it's like, is this what the Celtics were dealing with all those years? My goodness. So there's that for the team. So those are my big takeaways for now. I guess for LeBron, I think it is most likely that he's going to stay with the Lakers. His son's still on the team. I think that's the biggest factor people don't even look at. He wants to play with his son. And if he goes up and goes somewhere else, how is that going to work? He's going to force the other team to trade for Bronny and those other options that are out there for him. The Warriors, that would be a retirement home with him, a 38-year-old Steph Curry, 40-year-old Al Horford, Jimmy Butler, age like 35, coming off ACL. There's someone else I'm missing. 36 or 37-year-old Draymond. No, thank you. Denver, he's not going to Denver, even though they could definitely use his services. Cleveland is the one big wild card out there right now. Right now, their series is 2-2 against the Pistons. I don't think anyone thinks they'll win a championship. Sure, if they had LeBron James next year, they would definitely be better, better suited to come out of the East. But I don't know. I think LeBron, I am surprised. I thought a couple years ago he would play 2 more years and that was it. This is the end of that second year and he's still going pretty strong. But I think the one option that's not on the table, and also the Knicks, that's always a possibility for the spectacle. We'll see with that one. Like I said, I think the Lakers is the most likely choice for him, to see him back playing in a Laker uniform next year. But I think LeBron, I get that a lot of players don't love the idea of taking a discount. I think he's smart enough to know that his situation, if he's comfy being in LA, he's got the superstar teammate, and if he wants more players around him, in that 25 to 30 million range is a good number for his services. Even though obviously we all know LeBron's worth much more than that in terms of what he means to the league, but I think that's his best option when it comes to his future next season, which from all accounts it seems like he's going to play probably a couple more years, so still have a few more years of LeBron to enjoy, whether it's with the Lakers or not. We'll just have to see what happens. So there's my post-mortem for the Lakers season and the future for LeBron. My one big regret, I just wish I went to the game yesterday. My goodness, that looked like a fun game to be at. I had my opportunity to go. I figured it wouldn't be a very good game because of the Lakers getting blown out the first 3 games, so I was just kind of lazy and wanted to save my money. But even though they lost, that would have been a fun game to go to, but there's that. So that'll do it for this postmortem on the Lakers season and the future for LeBron. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching.